Imagine this young guy, right, has the face of an angel. The press even calls him Carlitos, or chillingly, the angel of death. And yet, he becomes one of Argentina's most notorious serial killers. How does that even happen?
It's a paradox that's hard to wrap your head around.
Absolutely. So today we're doing a deep dive into Carlos Eduardo Robledo Puch, the infamous Angel of Death. We've got a lot of material here, including that really detailed Wikipedia entry you sent over.
Yeah, plenty to unpack.
Our goal is pretty straightforward. Lay out the key facts, the timeline, some surprising details about his crimes, his capture, and then these decades he's spent locked away. We want to help you understand the path of this person. I mean, one newspaper headline just called him a beast.
It's quite the trajectory.
Okay, so let's start right at the beginning. Who was Carlos Eduardo Robledo Puch before all this notoriety?
Well, born January 19, 1952, Buenos Aires. And the sources we look at, they all paint a picture of a very traditional family.
Right. Grew up in Olivos, lineage from Salta, apparently even related to Martín Miguel de Güemes, the historical figure.
Yeah, which is interesting background. His dad worked at GM, mom was a homemaker, and Carlos himself, described as like timid, quiet, looked like his mother who had German heritage.
And did normal kid stuff. Marbles, trading cards, even piano lessons for 7 years.
7 years, yeah. Though apparently he never really liked it. Just seemed like a regular, maybe slightly introverted kid.
But that's what's so jarring, isn't it? This seemingly normal, maybe even idyllic childhood versus the absolute horror that came later.
Exactly. And the psychiatric report from his trial, it specifically points this out. It said, and I'm paraphrasing a bit, that he came from a legitimate and complete home, no bad living conditions, no money problems, no big family drama or trauma.
Nothing.
Nothing obvious, which, immediately makes you ask, okay, if it wasn't the environment, what was it? What pushes someone from that kind of background down such an incredibly dark path? Suggests maybe something deeper, intrinsic perhaps.
It really does. And that makes the start of his criminal life even more shocking. It wasn't like a gradual slide, was it?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
According to the sources, it basically explodes onto the scene. March 1971, he's just turned 19. He teams up with his first accomplice, Jorge Ibanez.
Okay.
Their first known hit, March 15th. Robbed a disco called Enamor in La Lucila. Got away with about 350,000 pesos.
Which was a lot back then.
A significant amount. But here's the chilling part. Before they left, Robledo Puch shot and killed the owner, Pedro Mastronardi, and the security guard, Manuel Godoy. While they were asleep. Asleep. Used a ruby pistol, that first act, killing sleeping victims. It just set this horrifying standard for cold-bloodedness right from the get-go.
And it didn't stop there. It got worse, unbelievably, just
Yeah.
a couple of months later.
Yeah, May 3rd, 1971. They hit a Mercedes-Benz parts store, killed the guard, Jose Bianchi, shot his wife too, but she survived, thankfully, and testified later.
Right.
But then Robledo Puch did something truly awful. He fired shots at a crying baby, just 10 months old, in a crib.
Oh, my.
Miraculously, the baby survived. But think about that. Shooting at an infant, it shows this terrifying level of ruthlessness, just indiscriminate violence, zero empathy, seemingly.
It's just incomprehensible. And the spree, it just kept going, this pattern of violence.
Relentlessly. May 24th, another security guard, Juan Scatone, at a supermarket in Olivos. And the detail from the sources here is particularly grotesque. They apparently toasted with whiskey over his corpse.
Ugh, like a celebration.
Seems like it. Just pure cruelty. Then in June, things took another turn. They shifted tactics.
Yeah.
Abducted, raped, and then executed 2 young women, Virginia Rodriguez, she was only 16, and Ana Maria DiNardo, 23, found by the Panamericana Highway.
So now sexual violence enters the picture, too.
Exactly. It's an escalation from robbery, homicide to include sexual assault and murder. A darker dimension again.
And Ibanez, his first partner, their partnership didn't end well either, did it? They were questioned.
Very suspicious circumstances, yeah. August 5th, 1971. Ibanez dies in a car crash. Robledo Puch was driving. Walked away unharmed, fled the scene. And the sources mention, those who suspect he actually killed Ibanez, made it look like an accident.
Wow. So maybe willing to eliminate anyone who got in his way, even a partner.
It certainly raises that possibility. Suggests a level of, ruthless opportunism.
Okay, so Ibanez is gone. There's a pause, but not for long. Robledo Puch finds a new accomplice, Hector Somoza.
Right. Picks back up in November 1971. And the pattern kind of repeats itself initially. November 15th, supermarket in Bologna, killed the guard, Raul del Bene.
Yeah.
Used a .32 this time.
Yeah.
2 days later, November 17th, car dealership, killed the guard, Juan Rosas. Then November 25th, another dealership, another guard. Bienvenido Ferrini. It's almost methodical, this targeting of night watchmen.
Just racking up victims. But his cruelty seemed to peak, didn't it? He even turned on Somoza. How did that happen?
Yeah, this is really where you see the extreme calculation and depravity. February 3rd, 1972. They're robbing a hardware store in Carupa. They shoot the guard, Manuel Acevedo. Then apparently, after some kind of fight or disagreement, Robledo Puch shoots Somoza, his own partner, who is only 17, twice. Kills him.
Kills his own accomplice.
But he doesn't stop there.
Yeah.
And this is just horrific. He takes a torch and he burns Somoza's face and his fingerprints.
Burns them off. Why?
To prevent identification by the police. It's not just murder. It's a calculated attempt to literally erase the guy, to cover his tracks in the most gruesome way possible. It shows this, like, next-level cunning mixed with absolute inhumanity.
Given all that, the planning, the brutality, how did they finally catch him? How did the angel of death get caught?
You know, it's almost anticlimactic in a way. After all that, his downfall was kind of simple. It happened the very next day, February 4th, 1972.
The day after killing Somoza.
Yeah, police arrested him. And the key, they found Robledo Puch's own ID card in Somoza's pocket.
No way. He left his ID on the body he tried to disfigure.
Apparently so. A tiny detail, a mistake, and it brought the whole thing crashing down. He just turned 20 years old.
It's 20. Incredible. So, the trial. What was the sentence for all these crimes?
Well, it took a while, but on November 27, 1980, he was sentenced. He got reclusion perpetua, life imprisonment, but with this additional kicker, with the accessory of for an indefinite period.
What does that actually mean, the accessory part?
It's basically the maximum penalty possible in Argentina. It means
Really?
life, plus an extra indefinite sentence on top, which makes parole extremely difficult, practically impossible under normal circumstances.
And did he show any remorse? What did he say?
His last words to the court were pretty defiant, actually. He said something like, "This was a Roman circus and a farce. I am condemned and prejudged beforehand. No sign of remorse, no acceptance of guilt."
Chilling. And he's been locked up ever since. That's over 50 years now.
Over 50 years, yeah. Mostly in the high-security Sierra Chica prison. He did actually escape once, briefly, back in 73 from Olmos, but only for about 68 hours before they caught him again.
Has he ever gotten close to release? He's been eligible for parole for a while, right?
Eligible since July 2000, yes. But every single request, and there have been several, like in 2008, 2011, 2013, 2015, 2016, they've all been denied.
Why? What reason do they give?
The main reason the judges keep citing is that he, quote, has not reformed in a positive manner. And also that he lacks family support on the outside. Basically, the system still sees him as dangerous, unreformed.
And his own behavior in prison seems to back that up, doesn't it?
It really does. Some strange requests, too. Like in 2013, he asked for his sentence to be reviewed, or, get this, for execution by lethal injection.
But Argentina doesn't have the death penalty.
Exactly. So was it a cry for attention? A sign he couldn't cope? Hard to say. But maybe the most disturbing thing was in 2016. Someone asked him, what would you do if you got out?
Okay.
He threatened to kill Cristina Fernández de Kirchner, the former president.
He said that out loud.
Explicitly threatened her. So yeah, these kinds of statements, this behavior, it reinforces the idea, at least for the authorities, that the underlying pathology is still very much there. Makes the idea of rehabilitation seem, well, pretty unlikely in his case.
Wow. Now, his story. The crimes are horrific, but that contrast, the angel face, it really grabbed the public's attention back then, didn't it? How did the media handle it?
Oh, the media played a massive role. They latched onto that contrast immediately. Nicknames like the Black Angel, the Angel of Death, those came from the press.
Right.
And the sensationalist papers, like Chronica, they went all out. There was this famous front page, really stark. It had his photo and the headline, Chacal killed 12 from behind. And the caption under his picture just said, "This is how a beast looks."
This is how a beast looks, just blunt.
Totally blunt. That kind of portrayal really cemented him in the public consciousness as this almost mythical, monstrous figure.
And clearly, that fascination hasn't really faded, even after all these decades.
No, it hasn't. It lingered. I mean, look at the 2018 film, El Angel. It dramatized his story, starred Lorenzo Ferro, brought it all back to a new audience.
Yeah, I remember that coming out.
It shows how figures like Robledo Puch, despite the horror of what they did, become part of the cultural landscape, part of the collective memory. It forces us, maybe uncomfortably, to try and grapple with these really dark aspects of human behavior, even when there aren't easy answers.
So, wrapping this up, we've traced Carlos Robledo Puch's path from what seemed like a quiet, normal childhood in Buenos Aires
Right.
to this incredibly violent, brutal crime spree as the Angel of Death,
Mhm.
then his capture, his trial, and now more than half a century spent behind bars. And finally, how his story still kind of echoes in popular culture. You really see how that ordinary surface hid something truly extraordinarily violent.
And what really stands out, I think, from this deep dive is the puzzle he represents. Here's someone with, by all accounts, a stable home life. None of the usual adverse childhood experiences we often see linked to violent crime.
Right, the psychiatric report confirmed that.
Exactly. Yeah. Yet he commits these absolutely heinous acts, shows no remorse, escalates his violence, and even after decades in prison, he seems completely unreformed, even making threats. It really challenges our easy assumptions about where extreme violence comes from.
It does.
And it leaves you with a pretty sobering question, doesn't it? Are there some individuals whose pathology runs so deep that they are simply beyond rehabilitation, beyond our current understanding, maybe? It's something heavy to think about.